fellow driver radio fans, Richard Rush here today with Walt McLean behind the camera. And today we're going to take a look at the 2017 Toyota Prius. This is the Prius 4 Touring Edition. There's not a whole lot different from 2017. We really did an in-depth review for 2016, partly because that's when they completely revamped the Prius's styling. So look in the sidebar, look at our past videos. This is going to be a shorter video just because they haven't changed a whole lot. The main thing new for 2017 is actually what Toyota's making a bigger push for across every single one of their platforms, and that is the Toyota Safety Sense technology is now standard. So adaptive cruise, the lane departure warning, blind spot alert, obviously the traffic, or not the traffic, but the rear backup camera, all of that now is standard. There is a few different options for this car in terms of a convenience package, which gives you a JBL speaker, audio system. This car, as it starts out, sorry, not as it sits, I don't have an updated window sticker, but starting out, this car is $31,000 approximately. With that convenience package, about $1,800 plus delivery. You're right in there, just below $35,000. So, with that being said, Walt, why don't we give them a little bit of a walk around the car? We'll talk about some of the different features. Again, this is going to be a shorter review just because they haven't changed a whole lot from 2017. So you can see the revamped exterior styling is still one of the biggest comments that we get in regards to the Prius. I will say this, some people love it, some people hate it. It really depends on who you are. The different trim packages that they give you, which is the Prius 2, the Prius Eco, I think it's the Eco 2, I apologize if I got those mixed up. Then you have the Prius 3 and 4, and then you have the Touring on those. Those each add different things, larger wheels, a little bit different in terms of some styling, some the fin, some of those different things. As you come around the back, again, this is one of the most, I guess, when you look at it, it stands out the most, and I apologize, I'm at a loss for words there, but this is one of the most distinguishable back ends of any vehicle, especially here in 2017, in terms of newer cars as well. You know a Prius, and especially what they've done, which they've kind of bent in some of the sides, really distinguished some of these taillights right here. Again, you can see the Prius right here. I apologize. Go to the back. The hybrid. We will show you the back here really quick. Let's open it up. And as you come in here, one thing to note, there is more cargo room here. I believe it's on the Eco and the 4 because of there's no spare tire. So I apologize, we've got the cargo net here, but I want to show you the mat, and I want to lift up. As you can see, no spare tire. You got the tire inflation kit right here. If you need to do that, you got the jack. But the reason that they've done that obviously is because you do have the battery pack that's in here. But by doing that, that gives you, I think it's 27.3 cubic feet of cargo room. You do have a 60/40 rear folding seat here that will fold or will fall forward if you need that extra cargo room. And actually, Walt, let me show. I've got to actually come around to the other side because Walt is about 6'4", which we'll talk about here in just a second. But let me fold this down. And you can see there is a little bit of a hump right there that it does have to get over. Not something that's a major bad thing or major knock on this car at all. Just something to make note of. And you do notice one thing that we really like is this opens nice and wide, so you're not feeling like you're crammed in here like a typical sedan where the trunk only opens up to here maybe. It's going to open fully up to the top here, which is really, really nice. So other than that, again, not much changes here on 2017. Walt, why don't we just hop right into the back seat right here. I'll flip this seat up really quick. And first, it's easier to show. This seat right here is set for myself and my dad, 5'9", 5'10" drivers. That seat on the far right is set for Walt, which is a 6'4" gentleman. And so you'll definitely see the difference, and I'll show you here just right now, actually. So I still have plenty of room. I still probably got 2-3 inches. Not the roomiest seat by any stretch of the imagination. Because of the styling, you do have a pretty good sloping roof. There is no sunroof on here, but you do have a nice slope right here, which is something to note. Not a major deal for us, but if you are a taller individual like Walt, you may not be able to fit back here very well. Comfortable seats. You do have a power port back here, and you do have a center console here which has 2 cup holders as well as kind of an armrest for the 2 backseat passengers, which is nice. You've got this nice black and white interior that they've added as well on this particular model. Automatic windows all the way around. So with that being said, I'm going to hop out. We're going to pause the video. I'm going to hop into the front seat and then go on a quick drive of the 2017 Prius 4 Touring. All right, fans, very quick. Here's a front seat view of the 2017 Prius 4 Touring. Again, no changes on the interior, maybe some minor optional changes that you can choose. But real quick, I want to show you the door. Again, this does have this white black. I'm sure I don't have the exact name of the material, or sorry, not the material, but the package of it is, but a nice black kind of contrast. The sweeping dash, again, that they've not added, but again, it's new for 2017. These kind of cutouts that they've done give it a futuristic appeal. This really prevalent white kind of center console area right here, which we'll talk about more on the driving portion of it. Relatively comfortable seats. They have refined the drive a little bit for 2017, and we'll talk about that. But again, very minor changes. There is no heads-up display in this model. I think we drove a Prius Prime a few weeks ago. It did have the heads-up display, which is something I would highly suggest because of where this center stack is positioned. A little bit hard to see. But with that being said, we'll let's put Walt in the back seat. We'll take a quick drive. 2017 Toyota Prius 4 Touring. All right, fans, want to give you a little bit better of a view of the interior. As I mentioned at the latter part of the previous segment, right here is where you got all of your information, your gear selector information over here, your speed limit. Oh, sorry, I put on my turn signal. This is kind of your information display, which you can change what is displayed there. Your energy monitor, your eco diary, eco savings, drive monitor. I'm just kind of repeating what's on the screen there. Again, back to the energy monitor, your time, and then all of your other, those are kind of your warning lights. If you want to put it into lane departure, it'll actually do that for you. The standard 7-inch Toyota screen. Some of you watched the Prime review. That particular large center stack or kind of center display is particular on that Prius. I'm a fan of it. I personally like it. After using that and then going back to this, especially on a Prius, I have to say I would prefer that one, although albeit for a little bit more money. No dual climate control. You do have 2 heated seats here in the front. Right here, the Eco Auto Cool, a lot of different eco features. One thing to note on this that it does have on here is a parking assist, which I believe is part of that convenience package. Will actually park you either, and I can push the buttons and you can see it'll actually do parallel parking, or it will actually find a spot and back you into it, which is a really nice feature. So Walt, why don't we show them the backup camera really quick. You'll notice the beeping, no dynamic grid lines. You do have sensors all around the vehicle. Allows me to get as close as I'd like to this curb right here. Makes it very easy. There's no surround view camera system or anything like that. Just something to note. It's a nice feature. And we'll take a quick drive really quick. In terms of the drive mode, there's 3 of them: eco, normal, and then power mode they call it. And you can actually feel a difference, believe it or not. Power mode definitely does pull more of that electrical power that's available to you right off the bat. This, of course, as most of you do know, is a hybrid. Sorry if I didn't say that before, and I should have. Again, Priuses are all hybrid. There's no changing that. Got a CVT transmission, the same 1.8 liter engine that's before. It's refined a little bit for 2017, gives it a little bit more kick into high gear, but it's definitely not a powerful machine by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, as you go downhill, you do have the ability to have one of the generators power, or to put power back into the battery. You've got kind of the engine braking mode, which is going to, again, put more power and slow you down with the engine, similar to an exhaust brake, for example, in a diesel truck. You do have automatic wipers on here, automatic headlights, a lot of great features that are actually standard on this vehicle, again, for the price of $30,000, that you're not going to find elsewhere, which is a really nice thing. What else? Honestly, there's not a whole lot else about this vehicle. You do have adaptive cruise control, the frontal collision warning. Again, I mentioned the lane departure at the start of the review. It actually will steer you back in if needed. But in terms of this vehicle, what are our thoughts? Well, again, not much has changed from 2016 to 2017. If you like the looks, you're gonna like them. If you hate the looks, you're gonna hate them. Not much, my opinion, is going to change for you there. I love that Toyota's starting to put some of these safety technologies and some of these higher end features on these vehicles now, rather than making them options. It just makes them that much more competitive in the market today. The Prius really does not have a true, well, I guess it's starting to have more true competitors. The Chevrolet Volt is the number one that comes to mind. It's a pretty competitive vehicle. Definitely I would compare the two, but in terms of the hybrid system, how it works, how it seamlessly transitions and shifts, it's definitely hard to beat the Prius. This is a vehicle for getting around town, for an urban commuter. Really quick, I'm going to give you my fuel economy numbers before I forget that. 45.3 tends to be right around where you're at, and you should be well over 50, or not well over, but probably in the low 50s with this vehicle, depending on how much you're doing. So if you're, again, an urban commuter, you're driving pretty consistently in the city, in rush hour, this may be the car for you. If you're going on highway speeds, you want that little bit of that gas to give you a little bit more of an oomph and a little bit more distance, definitely might be the car for you. It really, again, Toyota has kind of perfected this vehicle, and they sell a whole bunch of these, and there's a reason why. It's a relatively compact car, good car, and they've got kind of all the kinks worked out. Last two things I'll point out: quietness, I feel like it's improved from 2016 to 2017. I really enjoyed it. You didn't have to yell to speak to someone as you have in past Priuses. And the driving performance, it's definitely a smoother ride, not quite as rowdy and rambunctious as it used to be. So again, if you're interested in this vehicle, head to your local Toyota dealer, check it out, test drive it, and when you do, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.